So I haven't played Pokemon in like a week or two in a while, and I had a match before this match, and I was ready to sweep his team. I had a Sword Dance up, and it was against Umbreon. I got greedy and went for a second Sword Dance, and the Umbreon knocked me out of the foul play, and I completely forgot I had a foul play. It stopped my sweep, and I lost the battle pretty badly. So I'm pretty rusty right now, and in this game, I watched this battle, and during the battle, I felt like I didn't play too well. I kind of agree with that still now. I kind of just made simple plays and stuff, but it still turned out to be a pretty interesting match. But what is going on, guys? It's AJayPay. I'm bringing you a UU match against KazoWAR. His channel link will be in the description below. You should know who he is already. But yeah, like I said, I didn't play too well. It turned out to be a pretty good match. And if you saw this team before, it's a team that I used to ladder with in my Pokemon Showdown Lives, and I used to have a Wi-Fi battle with it too. But the person that I uploaded it against wanted me to take it down, so I took it down. So that's why it's not up anymore. But now I got another battle with it finally. Oh, my first battle with it in a long while. And like I said, it turned out to be a pretty good match. So we're just going to start the battle now. He's going to lead off with the Zelf. I'm just going to immediately lead off with my choice bandit Crobat named Lindsay, named after one of my friends that is very obsessed with Batman. So I just got to go for the U-turn. It actually surprisingly does not take it down to the Sash, because I'm assuming it's a Sash, a Zelf set with the Stealth Rocks. And I'm just going to switch out to my Scrafty because it's special defensive. Not predicting the Psychic move, but luckily he actually does go for the Psychic move. But now I know for a fact he's probably going to switch on to Drapion. That's why I decided to go for a bulk up, so that way I can get as much damage as I can on it right before it decides to set up a Whirlwind. That's what I'm going to go for right now. I'm just going to go for the Drain Punch. But the thing is, he starts setting up the Toxic Spikes, which I kind of found confusing, because I do have a Roselia. I can soak up the Toxic Spikes. Most of my Pokemon aren't affected by Toxic Spikes except for the Frost Slash and my Judgecon, which I definitely do not want poisoned. So that's basically 2 out of my 6 Pokemon. And I honestly don't care if he Whirlwinds me, because he's most likely not going to whirl me out to one of them or both of them at all. Right? So I just decide, okay, go ahead, set up the Toxic Spike. That's fine. I can switch Roselia in later. I didn't want to take the risk of him actually attacking Roselia and predicting that switch. I'll Drain Punch him, let him Whirlwind me. He won't Whirlwind me to either Frost Slash or Judgecon. But he rolls me to Frost Slash, which is a bit of a problem, because I'm a Focus Sash set, but now my Focus Sash is broken. But that's kind of fine too, because now I can actually use him as setup fodder as well. I can take away the Toxic Spikes later when I switch in Roselia at some point in time. It's not like Judgecon's going to come in at some point in time and take the Toxic Spike damage, right? So I decided to set up Spikes. I let it hit me with a Crunch. I could go for Ice Beam or Destiny Bond to knock this thing out. I just decided to set up a second layer of Spikes, because I think it's going to be more beneficial to set up a second layer of Spikes. And I don't think it's going to be a problem that this thing's going to be living a bit longer. I can just take it out in one hit with my Crobat. That's what I'm thinking, at least. So he just knocks me out with a second Crunch. That's fine. I don't really care too much. So, gonna switch in Lindsay, the obsessed girl that is obsessed with Batman. I do love her for that, though. I go for the Choice Bandit U-turn. Lindsay does not finish the job for some reason, and Drapion actually lives, which really surprised me. So I decided to switch my Scrafty because that's the Shed Skin ability. So at some point, this poison will be gone from my Scrafty, so that's fine. But he rollers me, I'm like, that's fine. It's not like he's gonna roll me to Druddigon out of one of my 5 Pokemon that I have at this point. He rolls me out to Druddigon, and I'm just like, really? Because Druddigon is my defensive wall with the Rocky Helmet and the Rough Skin ability. Max defense, bold nature, and luckily he decides to go for a Crunch on this turn. So the combination of Rough Skin and the Rocky Helmet is definitely going to knock it out. So the Rocky Helmet did make a difference in that play. And I also got to set up my Stealth Rocks and take out his Drapion. So that was kind of a win of a turn. It's just the only problem is my Judgecon is kind of poisoned, which I kind of wanted against this Poliwrath. And I knew this thing was probably sub Focus Punch, so I was predicting him to go for the sub right now. That's why I went for the Dragon Claw on this turn. But he actually Encores me, and now I'm Encored the Stealth Rocks, and I'm just like facepalming here, because I forgot those things carry Encore. I'm just like, I should have possibly predicted that. But then again, that was a really good play, and that was kind of hard to predict that he was going to do that possibly. So I decided to switch out. I'm going to go into my Roselia. 1, to get the Toxic Spikes away. 2, he's probably going to set up a sub. 3, his only 2 attacking moves are probably Waterfall and Focus Punch, which I do resist, and I should be able to live, despite the fact that I am more of an offensive Roselia than others. Because Ray the Forest Jr. is the best! Yeah! Going to go for the Sludge Bomb, because there's really no use in me going for a Leaf Turn and dropping my special attack right now. And I'm hoping Ray can live this Focus Punch, And luckily he does, but I knew he wouldn't take it too well as a bit of the thing. Because he's Puerto Rican. Puerto Ricans don't like to get hit. Is that true? Is that racist? I do apologize. I don't know my Puerto Rican stuff. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take that back. Gotta ask the Puerto Rican or Ray later. But I'm gonna go for the synthesis. I was hoping that he wouldn't predict that and go for an encore. Luckily he doesn't. He tries to just finish me off with a waterfall or possibly predict my switch. And now at this point I'm thinking he's gonna predict me to go for a second synthesis. So he's just gonna decide to stay in and go for the encore. But I'm just gonna go for the Leaf Storm and knock him out. I'm pretty sure he wasn't really predicting that though. I'm pretty sure he just kind of wanted to sack Poliwrath, but I'm pretty sure he also did go for the encore just in case if I went for the synthesis that turn. So Taurus is going to come in. It outspeeds most of my team except for my Crobat, and I do need Ray for later at some point. I can save him for Death Fodder later. So I decided to go back to my Druddigon to take the physical hit. His name is Mr. Scales. And he does go for the physical hit, but it's Rock Slide, so he's not technically touching me. So the Rough Skin or the Rocky Helmet is not going to affect him whatsoever. And Mr. Scales is going to get knocked out with a second Rock Slide. So Mr. Scales did its work, though, against the Drapion, which is fine. And also set up the Stealth Rocks. That's kind of what my team is all about. Get the Spikes up and the Stealth Rocks, and then have Choice Banded Crobat at some point just sweep the team that's weakened by the Stealth Rocks and Spikes and all the damage and stuff. As Kazo is going to make a really good play. Sack is a Zelf. I go for a U-turn. I was thinking I wouldn't be locked on the U-turn because he sacked a Pokemon and U-turn didn't exactly work. But it turns out I actually am still locked into it. So I have to go for the U-turn. That's completely fine. I know it's going to do a efficient amount of damage. But even if I did go for Cross Poison, it would have knocked out a Raikou. Because a Raikou can only be knocked out by a Choice Banded Crobat with Cross Poison added nature if it takes 3 layers of Spikes and Stealth Rocks. I only have 2 layers of Spikes and Stealth Rocks. So I decided to switch my Scrafty. It's my special defensive wall. It can take the Volt Switch. It doesn't take it as well as I thought it would. I'm just glad this thing's not a sub-call mining set because I would have had a bit of a problem. Because this team does not like that set at all. I don't think a lot of teams like that set at all. But I'm just very fortunate that it's more of a choice spec set. And I'm more of a special defensive Scrafty. As Taurus is going to come back in, I definitely do need Scrafty for later, especially against a Cresselia. That's going to come into play a bit later. I'm just going to decide to go with my Roselia just as Death Fodder. And he goes for a double edge. I'm thinking he actually went for a double edge to knock himself out from the Life Orb recoil and the double edge recoil, so that way it can be a double in and a double down rather than me getting switch initiative. But unfortunately, that doesn't work out for him. I think that's why he went for double edge. As I'm just gonna go for U-turn, I do outspeed him. Gonna knock him out. Choice Banded Crobats are such a big threat to any team in general because it outspeeds most Pokemon, even some Choice Scarf Pokemon. But I'm gonna go into my Miss Magius now. This is a nasty plot set, not my Calm Mining set. As you're going to switch Raikou in, I know I can live any T-Bolt from this thing, because I know his Choice Specs 2 is a thing. But I do have a chance to living the Choice Specs T-Bolt. I think I have a very high chance, actually. As I do live with a 21 HP, and then I'm just going to knock it out with a Shadow Ball. As he only has 1 poke left, I have 3. Which sounds really great, you think. But actually, this Cresselia is a bit of a problem. Cresselia is a really bulky Pokemon. The only Pokemon I do technically have is Scrafty, but the thing is Scrafty is poison, and knowing my luck right now, at the moment, I don't feel lucky. So I go for the Shadow Ball. I know it won't kill, but it will do a pretty good amount. I do get a special defense drop. It doesn't really matter too much, though, because I don't have a special attacker anymore, considering he just knocked out my Cresselia. I'm just glad this wasn't a Calm Mining set, because I was thinking about going for the Nasty Plot, because I was thinking he might be Calm Mind, but going for the Psychic, I'm pretty sure he's more of a defensive set. So I go into my Crobat again. Brave Bird's going to do more than a U-turn, even though U-turn is super effective. And Lindsay, unfortunately, does not finish the job, and then this thing's going to try to Moonlight stall me out at this point. And I do apologize that basically the remainder of this battle is going to be sped up, because it's basically a stall war now. As I do live the Psychic, but I do miss out on the kill with the second Brave Bird, and is able to get a Moonlight on when my Crobat dies from the Brave Bird. So I switch to Scrafty. At this point, I gotta play my bulk ups and rest rights because he could possibly get a crit with a hidden power fighting, and I could possibly be toxic forever. But luckily, my Shenkin finally does activate, and I'm able to get a safety rest off here. And basically, it's kind of my game at this point because I'm at +2 attack. I'm pretty sure a Crunch at this point is gonna be to a KO. I just gotta hope he doesn't get constantly gets crits and stuff. Luckily, he doesn't. I'm gonna go for the Crunch. And I'm actually going to get a crit here. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I was going to win. That crit just definitely sped up the battle. And it's going to be a very narrow one. Well, not very narrow, but a narrow 1-0 victory on my part. As we're going to go to the key play of the battle. And honestly, I don't think there was a key play at all. The only key play, really, I guess, would be... I'm not even going to show a clip of it. is like I just made the right switches. I just have the right pokes and the right team synergy against his. His team isn't bad. It's just my team was I guess built better and made prepared for I guess these kind of teams. I guess I don't know, but I did play badly in that game. Not saying that affects the outcome, but I just felt like I played badly is the whole point. He played really well though. But regardless, still a very good game, KazoWAR. I hope you guys enjoy that one. I'm trying to get more battles. I'm kind of living on the edge as of late. Like, I don't have battles backed up. I get battles basically on the day when I upload the battles. So, I just got to start battling mode. Because right now, I'm not in a battling mood for some reason. But that about does it for me, guys. So, like if you like, comment if you like, and subscribe if you like. Fire Red will be back soon. And I'll see you guys later.